everyone, welcome to the 12th video lecture of class 9 science. So we are dealing with our second unit, motion. So in this video lecture we will be learning about equations of motion. Okay, so just a fast recap to what we have learned. So we have learned about two type of graphs. One is distance time graph, another one is velocity time graph. So in that case, for the case of distance time graph, we saw that for a uniform motion, the distance time graph will be always a straight line, right? So where x-axis, along x-axis we will be taking time, and along y-axis we will be taking distance. So for a uniform motion, the distance time graph will be always a straight line. So in the case of distance time graph, for non-uniform motion, it will be always a curve, not a straight line. It will be anything which is not a straight line. It can be anything. It can be a curve, or it can be a parabola. Curve can be a parabola or ellipse or circle, whatever it is. So the thing is, it should not be a straight line. Okay, then after that we studied velocity time graph. When we were studying velocity time graph, we saw three situations. One is the situation of uniform motion. In the case of velocity time graph, we take time along x-axis, velocity along y-axis, and for the case of uniform motion, the velocity time graph will be a straight line which is parallel to x-axis, right? And then velocity time graph for the case of uniformly accelerated motion will be a straight line having a slope. And then we have velocity time graph for non-uniformly accelerated motion. For that, it will be a curve. So these are the things which we have studied. So when we studied distance time graph, we saw that the slope of the distance time graph will give us the quantity, which is nothing but speed, as well as the area under velocity time graph will give us the quantity displacement. See, these are the two things which we need to remember forever. And we even studied that in the case of uniform motion, the acceleration will be always 0. And the question was also asked in your small test which you attended in the last week, but most of you have given it wrong. Some of you have written it as constant, but you should remember it is constant. Yes, what is the value? The value is always 0. The acceleration in the case of uniform motion is 0. Okay, so these are the things which we have studied. Okay, so using all these things, we will be deriving, or we will be learning the equations of motion in a better way. Okay, moving on. So these equations of motions were formulated or studied by Newton. So what are these equations? What actually we study under this equation? So Newton studied the motion of an object and gave a set of 3 equations. So how many equations are there? There are 3 equations. Okay. So these equations, what they does? They relate. We have learned so many quantities, right? Like distance, displacement, speed, velocity, and then acceleration. And all these we studied keeping in quantity, time, right? Keeping in mind a quantity, time. So here we will be usually talking about the vector quantities. So the vector quantities which we have studied are displacement, velocity, acceleration, right? So these 3 quantities along with time, right? Okay, so these 4 quantities will be related. How actually the displacement is related to acceleration, how actually the velocity is related to displacement and acceleration with the time. So all these 4 quantities are related in different manners that will be studied using That is the study of these three equations. So the relation is given simplified in the form of these three equations. Instead of saying the rate of change of velocity is acceleration, we write it in the form of equation. So that becomes very easy to calculate the things, right? So that is the purpose, and that is what these set of equation does. Okay. Sorry, it is not the uniform motion. The heading has been given, wrongly. So forgive me for that. Okay. So the first thing is, so whenever we study in equations or any formula, it will be written in short forms, right? It will be written in symbolic forms. So we need to know what are those symbols. So in the previous class itself we have seen this, but to again memorize or recapitulate the things, again it is given here. So initial velocity is taken as u, final velocity is represented by v, time is taken in the form of t, acceleration is represented by small letter a, and the displacement is represented by small letter s. So these are the quantities, and we are going to find the relation between these five quantities. Okay, now consider an object, maybe a car. Okay, so a car was traveling with some initial velocity u, okay, in the course of time t. Okay, after time t, due to the acceleration a, the velocity of the car changed from u to v. Okay, and in this time it has traveled a distance s. Okay, the displacement of the car in the course of time t is s. Okay, that is the situation which we are going to study. Okay, in that situation, the three equations can be written as v is equal to u plus at. The final velocity will be always equal to the initial velocity plus the product of acceleration and time. Then the second equation is s is equal to ut plus half at square. The displacement the car underwent will be equal to the sum of product of initial velocity and time and half of the product of acceleration and square of the time taken, right? So see, when I go on telling it in a full form, like instead of telling s is equal to ut plus half at square, it is very easy to remember. S is equal to ut plus half at square. But if I go on telling displacement is equal to the sum of product of initial velocity and time plus and half of the product of acceleration and square of the time. So it is very difficult to remember or understand. That's why we go for using the formula. Okay. Okay, then third equation of motion is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. That is, square of the final velocity is always equal to square of the initial velocity plus 2 times the product of acceleration and displacement. I'm a bit fast in saying all these things because the symbols, that is v, u, s, t, a, are familiar to you because we have already dealt this in our previous class. Because when I was teaching you about acceleration, I introduced you these symbols, right? Because there we said rate of change of velocity was v minus u, where we wrote a is equal to v minus u whole divided by t. From your test I got to know that you're not following all the classes and you're not punctual in preparing the lessons. So please make sure that every day you are going to study the given in the given time. Mean that Monday will be your science, and next day will be your maths, and next day will be English, next day will be Tamil, or it is like given timetable, follow it properly. Every day you need to study only one subject. Think, when you will be in school, you need to study all the 5 subjects or 6 subjects in a day, but now you got an opportunity to study only one subject a day. So make sure that you at least complete that subject. And all of us are teaching a minimum concept, that means a half an hour class to the maximum a 1 hour class, and following you will be having a little bit homework. So please try to do all those things every day. If you watch a video half an hour, then you can study for half an hour or for 1 hour, so that is more than enough, right? But from the test I can understand, it is very well seen that you are not at all following any of the classes. So please go through all the lectures. If not all the lectures, if you can study from your textbook, that is very good. So please go through the textbook as well as the video I suggest, and after that you can go and study your reference books or any guides which you have. There is no problem, but first follow the video. After that, go back to your textbook and read it once or twice. Okay, so please do follow it. Okay, coming back to the topic. So initial velocity is represented by u, final velocity of an object is represented by v, and time is represented by t, acceleration is a, and the displacement is s. So these equations are very much important whenever you are going to study about any motion. Okay, so whenever you start learning some concepts related to motion, the first thing is the equations of motion. You will be asked, or you will be you will be made to study the concepts of equations of motion. Okay, so this is very much important, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, now these equations, how actually they have come from, where this Newton have derived these things, right? So all on a sudden, how can we believe that this is correct? Somewhere we need a proof that this is correct, right? So we have learnt about the graphs, that is velocity time graph and distance time graph, but we know that in the case of distance time graph we cannot talk about the acceleration, but in the case of velocity time graph, we can to some extent talk about the acceleration if it is constant. So we will be taking the help of velocity time graph to derive means to prove, or to obtain the, not to prove, to obtain how to get these equations. So next thing which we are going to study is deriving the equations of motion by graphical method. There are several methods which we can use to obtain these equations, but here in your syllabus you are asked to derive using the graphical method. Okay, the graph which we will be using for this study is velocity time graph. Please remember this, we will be using velocity time graph to derive the equations of motion. Okay, so we all know that initial velocity is represented by small letter u. Here in the graph, okay, you have to carefully look into this. Okay, the main graph is this one. Okay, this one. This is the graph. Okay, this is showing the object moving with the initial velocity u. Here you can see this is the velocity curve, right? This is the velocity. Okay, y-axis. So it is starting from here, not from 0. If it would have started from 0, the initial velocity was 0. Now instead of starting from 0, it is starting from the point D. That means O to D is the value of initial velocity, right? After that, what is happening? The object is moving, that means the velocity is increasing. See, can you see? If velocity would have not increased, it would have given us this straight line, like it would have touched here, this line, right? but the velocity is increasing as the time increases. So the graph is an increasing curve, increasing line. So at the time t, that is here, at time t, at some point here, that is O to E, at this much of time, what is happening is the velocity has increased up to this. Here is your V, that is from here to here. From here to here it is V, that is O to C. O to C and E to B, it is nothing but same, right? So E to B, I'm sorry, yeah, O to C and E to B, they are nothing but equal. So that will be giving us the value of V, and O to D, this length, and A to E, they are equal. So that is nothing but our initial velocity u. Wherever we get A to E, AE and OD, we can write it as u, and wherever we find OC and EB, we can write it as V. And this x-axis, if we take OE, here this is nothing but T. Okay, so this much is what we should know. And one more thing, here they have given you, since OC and EB are equal and OD and AE are equal, we can say that this one little C to D and B to A, they are also equal. So these are the things we should remember in proving this thing. What is it? The graph which we will be using is a velocity time graph, and where and all we can mark U, V, A. Yes, U, V and not A, sorry, it is T. Right, initial velocity, final velocity and the time. And in between we get to see that the AB and CD are equal. So deriving the first equation of motion. Okay, so we all have studied what do we mean by acceleration. So first equation of motion is dealing with the definition of acceleration. So definition of acceleration says acceleration is equal to change in velocity divided by time. So how much change has happened? Initially it was u, and finally it became v, right? So we can say that the velocity change is v minus u. Or something. Okay, from the graph if we can find out how much it will be, final velocity minus initial velocity. So the final velocity is nothing but your OC, right? O to C is the final velocity, this point here, OC is the final velocity, minus initial velocity is nothing but OD, right? This is OD. Okay, erase. Yeah, OD. Here, this is your initially, this is your final one. Okay, up to here. Okay, fine, up to here. Okay, then divided by time. Time taken is OE. So divided by OE. OC, from the graph if you can see, OC, what is it? OC minus OD. In this length, if you minus this one, you will be remained with this, that is DC. Okay, OC minus OD will be DC from the graph, which is DC divided by OE we get. Okay, so acceleration is equal to DC by OE. OE is nothing but our T, so it is DC by T. So what is this DC? If you rearrange here, see, if you rearrange, A is equal to DC divided by T. Therefore, DC can be written as A into T, right? And DC is nothing but AB, right? AB can be written as A DC is nothing but AB, which is equal to AT. Okay, then rearranging the things, you can write, and AB can be written, one second. Okay, this AB can be written as BE minus EA, right? Okay. Okay, rearranging this thing, we can get, this is written as, this one we keep it here and the other one we can take here. So BE or EB, which is here, you can see EB is equal to EA. When you bring it here, it becomes plus. So EA plus AB. So EB is nothing but V, EA is nothing but U, and AB, as we have seen, AB is nothing but DC, therefore it is equal to AT. I hope you understood this. Okay, it is bit you may not even take it as AB. You can just here itself write AT is equal to DC, right? DC is nothing but uh, DC is nothing but OC minus OD, right? The place of this, it is AT. Okay. Okay, DC we can write as AT, which is equal to OC is nothing but this one V, which is equal to minus OD, this is V, sorry U. So rearranging this, this will come here. So you will get it as V is equal to U plus AT. So always you need not go for taking AB again. So here itself, after that you can write this step and you can follow this step. The answer will be U is equal to, sorry, V is equal to U plus AT. But in your textbook it has been followed like this as I have given. So whichever is easy or comfortable for you, you can use. Okay, then let us study the second equation of motion. So in the first equation of motion, we have used the definition of acceleration. In the second equation, we will be using the concept like the area under the velocity time graph will give us the value of displacement. Okay, so S is represented as displacement. So the S in the time t, that is from OE, how much distance or the displacement the object has covered. That is S is equal to area under this, that is this area. Okay, this area. So if you can see, this area can be divided into, this figure can be divided into two figures. One is a rectangle DOEA, another one is a triangle DAB. So area of the rectangle, we know what it is nothing but breadth into length. So it is AE into OE plus half of the base into height. Base here is DA into AB will give us the total area under the curve or this line DB. So S is nothing but AE into OE plus half into AB into DA. So AE is nothing but this one is nothing but our initial velocity. OE is nothing but T. So therefore it is U into T. U T plus half. AB is nothing but A and B, this one. So AB is nothing, AB can be written as you remember AB was written as AT in the previous slide when we dealt. AB was written as AT here. Here can you see DC is equal to AB. DC is equal to AB which is equal to AT. So same here, AB can be written as AT and DA is nothing but DA here is nothing but OE which is again equal to T. Therefore, S is equal to UT plus half into AT into T, nothing but AT square. So, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Okay. Here you need to remember only one thing. AB is taken as AT. It is not at, okay, it is A into T. A is acceleration, T is time. Okay, moving on, the third and the final equation of motion. Here also we use the concept of the area under the graph will give us the value of distance or displacement. Here we know that in the previous case we took it as sum of area of a triangle and a rectangle. Here we can see that it is a structure or it is a figure called as trapezium, right? So we are aware of it. So you here we can take it, we are taking considering the area under the trapezium DOEB. So here we directly introduce or directly calculate the area using the formula of area of a trapezium. So area of a trapezium is always half into sum of length of parallel side into distance between the parallel sides. Okay. So here the parallel sides are OD and EB, right? OD and EB. So when you put it in the formula, it will be half into OD plus BE into distance between the parallel sides are nothing but this distance. That is nothing but OE. Okay. So we know that OD is nothing but OD is nothing but the initial velocity U, and BE is nothing but V, and OE is T. And since we know that A is equal to V minus U divided by T, from the acceleration equation we remember A is equal to V minus U by T. A is equal to V minus U divided by T. Now if I take this one here and the other one here, it becomes T is equal to V minus U by A. And this T we are going to write it here. Okay, instead of writing T here, we will write it as V minus U by A. This T will be replaced as V minus U by A. Therefore, here you can see here this one, instead of writing T, we are writing it as V minus U by t, that one is, sorry, a. A. So S is equal to half into, already V plus U is there. We have written U plus A into, instead of writing T, we will write V minus U divided by A. Okay, so that is what this is. So we here have V plus U into V minus U, which is nothing but a plus b into a minus b formula, which is a square minus b square. So here this a and 2 will go here, because in the denominator there is a 2 here, and in the denominator a is also there here. If you take it to the other side, it becomes 2as. It will go to the numerator, and then here the product of v plus u and v minus u will give you v square minus u square. So the formula becomes, when you rearrange, it will be v square minus u square plus v square is equal to v square is equal to u square plus 2as. So this is the third equation of motion. The first one is v is equal to u plus at. The second one is s is equal to ut plus half at square. The third one is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Okay, in the first one we take the help of definition of acceleration. After stating the definition, we carry out the derivation, and then the second one we use the concept of area under the graph will give us the distance or displacement. So we take their S as the area of a triangle plus area of the rectangle. The third case, same concept is used, but here we will take it as complete area as one figure, that is area of a trapezium. So this is about the derivation of three equations of motion which was given by Newton. So I hope this video was of bit help to you. So please go through this, try to write it down 2 times and 3 times, then you will understand this derivation in a better way. Thank you.